Hey guys, this is a curious story about Samira Musa. Dr. Samira Musa. She was the first female Egyptian nuclear physicist. Samira held a doctorate degree in atomic radiation. She hoped her work would one day lead to affordable medical treatments and the peaceful use of atomic energy. When she was 18, she wrote the book Modern Algebra. She organized the Atomic Energy for Peace Conference and sponsored a call to set an international conference. The international conference did happen with her at the helm. She was the first woman to obtain a PhD in atomic energy. Samira had a breakthrough in nuclear technology and developed a formula to split the atoms of cheap metals like copper. Her famous quote is, "I'll make nuclear energy as available and as cheap as aspirin." On August 5th, 1952, in Berkeley, California, she refused U.S. citizenship and decided to return to Egypt. But before she can return, she received an invitation for dinner invitation, which she accepted, and on her way, her car fell off the cliff, killing her immediately. It has been reported that the driver jumped from the car just before it fell off the cliff and disappeared. It was reported that the invitation she received turned out to be fake. So to this day, her death remains a mystery. But just to look into her life a little further, here's some additional information. Under the banner of Atomics for Peace, she was the first woman to work at Cairo University. She was born on March the 3rd, 1917, in Egypt. She died August the 5th, 1952, at the age of 35, in California. Her nationality is Egyptian. Another name she went by is Mother of Atomic Energy. She's known for Atoms for Peace. She was working on atomic energy, but she thought it would be peaceful and not destructive. That's what she was working on. Her mother died from cancer, and her father was a famous political activist. He moved with his daughter to Cairo and invested his money in a small hotel in the El Hussein region. At the insistence of her father, Musa attended Kaiser El Shak Primary School, one of the oldest schools in Cairo. After she completed her primary education, she attended the Bana El Askaf School, which was built and managed by her father. Despite the fact that Musa achieved high grades in her secondary education and could have pursued a career in engineering, she insisted on joining the Faculty of Science at Cairo University in 1939. Musa obtained a BSc in radiation with first-class honors after researching the effects of X-ray radiation on various materials. Dr. Mustafa Musarrafa, the first dean of the faculty, believed in his student enough to help her become a remarkable lecturer at the facility. Afterwards, she became the first assistant professor at the same facility, the first woman to hold a university post, and the first to have obtained a PhD in atomic radiation. Her biggest wish on doing her research in nuclear energy was for nuclear energy to be cheap, like aspirin. She believed her research can help in combating cancer and the treatment of cancer. She worked hard for this purpose, and throughout her intensive research, she came up with a historic equation that would help break the atomics of cheap metals such as copper, paving the way for a cheap nuclear bomb. Mosa organized the Atomic Energy for Peace Conference and sponsored a call for setting an international conference under the banner Atom for Peace, where many prominent scientists were invited. The conference made a number of recommendations for setting up a committee to protect against nuclear hazards, for which she strongly advocated. Musa also volunteered to help treat cancer patients at various hospitals, especially since her mother went through a fierce battle against the disease. Musa visited the United States. She received a scholarship from the Fulbright Atom in order to be acquainted with the modern research facilities at California University. In recognition of her pioneering nuclear research, she was given permission to visit the secret U.S. atom facilities. The visit raised vehement debate in the United States, academic and scientific circles, since she was the first non-white person to be granted that privilege. She turned down several offers that required her to visit in the United States and be granted American citizenship. She said that Egypt, my dear homeland, is waiting for me. So she never became a citizen of the United States. Now, conspiracy theorists are saying that because she visited that secret nuclear facility, that's why she was murdered. This is all allegedly, because we don't know if she was murdered or not. Her car went off the road where she died upon impact, and no one knows for sure if she was murdered. So Dr. Musa was the first female assistant professor at the School of Science at Cairo University, and more impressively, the first woman at the university to obtain a university post due to her groundbreaking PhD work in atomic radiation from the 1940s, inspired by contribution of early Muslim scientists, including her teacher, Dr. Mustafa Musrafa. Samara began writing an article on the work done by Dr. Musa in founding algebra. She also authored multiple articles that communicate the theory behind nuclear energy, its impact and safety of their use in simpler terms. She also discussed the history of the atom and its structure and dangers of nuclear fusion technology, as well as properties of radiation and their biological effects. She died on August the 5th, 1952, after her first visit to America. She intended to return home, but she was invited on a trip. On the way, the car fell from a height of 40 feet, which killed her immediately. It had been alleged she was murdered because of what she knew concerning nuclear fusion and atomic energy. She was only 35. The car flipped over. She never made it back to Egypt. And the driver of the car, as soon as the car flipped, the driver jumped from the car, saving himself, and was never seen again. The conspiracy theories out there is that she was murdered by a government. Whether it's the US government, the Israeli government, no one knows. But it's said that she was murdered, and she was murdered for her knowledge of what she knew or what she was about to revolutionize. She said she wanted to make nuclear energy a household word. One of the theories, it is said that the invitation that she received for dinner, it was a false invitation. When the invitation was looked into after her death, no one seemed to have sent it. This is all allegedly. YouTubers, I cannot help to think what a brilliant mind at 35. She had revolutionized nuclear fusion and was about to make it as cheap as aspirin. Well, you know, the powers that be don't want that to happen because they want to keep nuclear fusion and atomic radiation so expensive for governments to obtain it and for this woman to come across the secrets of how to make it cheaper was a no-no. She had to be gotten rid of. So that's one of the theories that's out there by a lot of theorists. You know, the conspiracy theorists out there, they feel as though she knew too much. She was shown that secret nuclear lab, and for that, she was killed, allegedly. Either that or she was about to make nuclear energy as cheap as aspirin. YouTubers, drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video and your input. I'm over now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and to this video. Thank you for watching.